be the Porsche 986 Boxster from 1996 to 2004, this generation run. They did 3 engine types in the 986 Boxster, a 2.5 litre, a 2.7 litre and a 3.2 litre S model. Gearboxes in this was a 5-speed auto and a 5-speed manual and a 6-speed manual, and in total they made 164,000 of the Porsche 986 Boxster. It's a big number, and it saved Porsche. Porsche was in a lot of trouble back in the early 90s, and this new Boxster they bought out, the 986, really helped them get back into making some money. And if you've sold 164,000 of these, you know, you're going to make a few quid. What else? Now, the 986 was the lightest Boxster they've ever produced. It was 1,250 kilograms all the way up to 1,360. That's still light in compared to today's models. I mean, I must admit the 2 litre 718 is just over 1,300 kilos, so that one does compare, but generally all the other ranges have been much heavier. Brake horsepower between the generations range between 201 and 262 brake horsepower, and 0 to 60 times were between 5.7 and 7.4. Prices today in 2024 range between £4,000 and £15,000. If you want something like this, then you're looking closer to 20. This is an immaculate example with 8,000 miles on the clock. Tax on one of these is anywhere between £325 and £395 here in the UK for 12 months. And wheel size on these ranged between 16 and 18 inches, so quite small. But back then big wheels wasn't really a thing, but even 18-inch wheels back in sort of 2000 was quite a cool thing, you know. Now, there was one special 986 model, one special 986 model that was produced, and that was a 550 Spider. They built 1,953 cars, and they came with this stunning cocoa leather interior. And I remember actually going to the Birmingham Motor Show and seeing it when it was brand new, and loved it. And I'm still a big fan of that cocoa interior, and yeah, if I could find a high mileage one of those, it'd be hard to refuse buying one. Right, let's travel back in time to 1996 and get in the first generation Boxster. Now, this one's got a really cool interior. Well, depends what you like, but it actually looks way better in real life than it does on the internet. Right, here we go, let's get in. Okay, this feels quite high up compared to the others. Now, yeah, the cabin's quite different in here. You feel the seats are obviously much newer, so they, you know, you feel sort of, you know, you feel like high up, and you're aware that you're actually quite close to the roof line. But anyway, for this we're going to look at the steering wheel. Now, this is a much simpler, old school looking steering wheel. It's funny how steering wheel design has become so well enhanced over the years. You'd think it wouldn't have been hard to design a good steering wheel back in nearly 2000. But again, everything's the dials are actually see-through, so you can actually put your hands through there. But they're nice and clear. The font's big, and this is probably actually the dials on the left and the right are actually slightly angled towards you. So we've got top speed 150 miles per hour. It revs up to 7,000. We've got the fuel gauge, and again the engine or the oil temperature. I'm just going to zoom out and zoom in. There we go. So that is that. Very simple. It's nice. You know what, even though this is the oldest Boxster, it's still good. Honestly, this is a great car. Sorry, not the gearbox, the gear lever. And as you can see, this one is a 5-speed manual with reverse down here. It's quite thin actually. Do you know, this reminds me of the 993 gear stick. It's got a narrow shaft, bulbous head, and there's nothing too fancy about it, but it's still got a cool motion to it, you know. It's nice, you know. It's a nice movement. The throw's not too long. You've got a leather gaiter here, and you've actually got, look at that, CD holders there. I'll get them back in. CD holders, and then you've got the old Porsche head unit. It's old style air vents and buttons, but these are immaculate. You've got a smoker's button there. Yeah, so that is it. You've actually, in this one, you've got the electric windows in the middle, so slightly different to the other generations. There we go, that's the centre of the 986. Okay, now these ones are not in black, which is nice. I'm a big fan of different coloured interior seats. So here we go. Yeah, so this is much simpler, right? We've got like a little grey plaque, electric, up and down, and yeah, these seats are really nice actually. I think these seats are actually better than the ones in the 987, which is a surprise. They've got these really nice ribbed pieces here, you know, they're perforated seats there. Yeah, I like these. I think these are really cool. That's a surprise actually. And then again, you've got the lever here to move it forward. You've got the coat hook there, and on these ones you've got like a plastic back, and they've got a little pouch here to put some bits in. You've got nice carpet, different carpet here again, and on here you've got the big old cabin again, so you can store stuff in there. That's pretty cool. I like that. Not sure what I'd put in there. Have to have a think about that, but yeah, could definitely put something in there. So these, yeah, this is a lovely cabin. Look, there we go. Very nice indeed. Okay, moving on to the outside of these cars. So these are the famous 986 fried egg headlights that a lot of people don't like. I'm not a huge fan, but it's part of the car, you know, you can't really change them. Again there, a nice original Porsche crest. We'll see how that changes. Now onto the wheels and side look profile of the car. Nothing wrong with these wheels, nice, good nick. Got the Porsche logo in the middle. So, foot on the clutch, let's turn it on. Get loads of little LED lights when you turn it on. Down there. Look at the mileage on this, 8,927 miles. That's bonkers. But I tell you what you do get with the 987, and you get this beautiful yellow coloured font in display. Look at that miles per hour font. That's just so retro. You know, I love that. That is so cool. Yeah, you get, honestly, I think that yellow font in these dials is my favourite. It's just the this takes me back to the older cars, and it's nice and big. It almost looks like the font has been. It looks like the head-up display that you get in modern cars, which appears in the windscreen. The font almost looks like it's been almost 3D projected out of the back of the dials. It's honestly, it's really cool. You have to see it. But anyway, let's see what this 986 sounds like. No idea. Oh yeah, do you know, that's bloody good. Completely different noise to all the others. And one thing you do notice when you're revving it is just how big the font is in that central rev counter. It's the biggest of all of them. The font is slightly different. It just makes driving it just that much nicer, you know. They're much easier to see, and yeah, I don't know, I'm really impressed actually. I thought this old girl would be a bit disappointing, but it's pretty unique. I don't even know if this one has a sport button. Let's have a little look. I don't believe so. No, this one doesn't, so you're stuck with whatever it is, the natural sound of it, but it's pretty cool.